Hey, what's going on, guys? Jordan over here at the Movie Den. Guys, I just got done watching the new Wolfman movie that just came out, and I have some thoughts, and I want to talk to you guys about it. I know there has been a bunch of other YouTubers out there that have done their reviews on it, but I figured I'd throw my hat in the ring and let you guys know what I think. But guys, if you enjoy these kind of videos where I talk about new releases that are in theaters and give my reviews on them, make sure to go down below, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and of course, hit that bell notification. Let's go ahead and talk about it. So guys, the new Wolfman movie, guys, I got to be honest, I went in with a little hesitation into this one, but we'll talk about that here in just a minute. But you've got the brand new Wolfman directed by Leigh Whannell, and part of my optimism for this movie is he has done movies like Invisible Man, that remake they did a few years ago, which I thought was a fantastic movie. So, you know, I don't want to give away what I think about it just yet, but anyways, the movie basically follows a small family. The dad, he is a stay-at-home dad who's a writer, and you've got the mom who is a journalist. She's a full-time working mom with their younger daughter. One day, he gets a letter from the state of Oregon, basically a death certificate saying that his father has been declared deceased because his father had gone missing many, many years past in the state of Oregon where he grew up and was from. So what he decided to do is take his wife and daughter and vacation in his family home that he grew up in to try and rekindle the relationship between him and his wife because it had been falling apart. It just wasn't doing very well. But while they're heading out there, they're in the region of kind of where his family home was, but he gets lost. He looks over and he sees in a blind of a tree, there's a man standing there. He comes down, ends up being someone that he has known since his childhood. And he lets him know, hey, I can tell you where your father's house is. Let me go ahead and give you directions. So he jumps in while they're out going to their father's house. It's late at night and they see this creature standing in the road, which causes him to swerve off the side of the road over the cliff and stuck in a bunch of trees in the forest. And from there, they escape. They get to the house. I'm not going to tell you what happens because I don't want to give any spoilers. But that's the gist of the movie, how he gets to that house where this Wolfman is. Now, in this movie, there isn't a lot of direct connections to the original Wolfman. The lore of it, you know, becomes a wolf when there's a full moon outside. The silver bullet won't kill him. So there's none of those things. This is almost more modern, more kind of a realistic Wolfman, if that makes any sense. Now, of course, in this movie, he does get a scratch. That is how he gets the infection in this movie. The one problem I had, and I thought this was a big issue with this movie, is from my recollection, they don't ever show him get scratched, explain how he got scratched. He just, one scene, his arm's bleeding, he looks at it and he has a big scratch, and there's no explanation of how he got the scratch. You know, usually I can give grace to movies where they don't explain everything because sometimes that is a creative choice and sometimes it's something where the writer or director just assumes that the audience knows. In this instance, yes, they would assume that the audience knows that the werewolf did scratch him. However, that's kind of an integral part of becoming a werewolf is that scratch. So you would think they would show that, and unfortunately they did not. Now, what are some things I did like about the movie? Well, I will say this. I did enjoy the way they portrayed him becoming into the Wolfman, or I'm just going to say the werewolf, into the werewolf, because what they did is they showed almost his perspective becoming the werewolf. And what I mean by that is there is a few scenes, and this isn't giving any spoilers away, but there's a few scenes to where he is trying to talk to his family about a situation that's going on. And the family, his wife and daughter, just kind of look at him like they don't know what he's talking about. And he starts to get confused and he kind of just moves on past it. There's also this other scene, and this is kind of in the trailer, where his hearing starts to really heighten. And down in the basement, he hears his wife on the CB radio trying to call for help. They need help to get out of there because they are trapped in this house with the werewolf out there in the woods. So as he goes down into this basement, it's very well lit, right? Looks like the lights are on. And he walks down and you're getting an over the shoulder shot of him. And he looks at his wife and she is trying to call on the radio and it just sounds like gibberish or you can't really hear what she's saying. Well, then the camera does a really cool trick to where it kind of swivels around and pans and puts the wife's face in the forefront, but the lights start to dim and get really, really dark to where we see how it's really lit down there. And what that implies basically is when he was walking down to find his wife with the CB radio, he was able to really see in the basement because, you know, his sentences are all starting to heighten. And when it panned to show her, so now we're kind of in the perspective of the wife, it gets really dark. You can't see him anymore. He's in the shadows, even though he's right behind her. They did that a few different times throughout the movie, and I thought that was really cool. I really enjoyed that perspective of it where they showed not only us seeing a man becoming a werewolf, but we got to almost experience him becoming the werewolf. And I thought that was really interesting. Now, here's where some of the negative stuff comes in for me. As I said, the scratch, we don't know where that came from. What was another one? I really could not stand the wife in the movie. That might have been the point, but to me, she just bugged me throughout the movie, to be honest with you. The story itself was an okay werewolf movie. The acting was good. I didn't have a problem with a lot of the acting. The storytelling was okay, but more of my issue was you called this the Wolfman, and it wasn't the Wolfman. It almost seemed like there was a story that they had about a werewolf. Universal Pictures bought it and said, well, we're just going to call this the Wolfman just to push it out there. More people will probably see it that way. And that's kind of how I felt about it. Like, I feel like it was a pretty decent werewolf movie, but since you put the name Wolfman on it, it just kind of took it downhill for me, and it wasn't that great of a Wolfman movie, if that makes any sense. Even the werewolf, it was almost like a naked werewolf running around. I guess that's the best way I could describe it. You kind of got used to it there at the end, and I thought I was okay with it as a werewolf, but not the Wolfman. You guys see what I'm saying? They're two different separate things. If you're going to do a Wolfman movie, it needs to be the Wolfman. But this one, in my opinion, this was just a werewolf movie, not the Wolfman. So that's kind of my thoughts on the movie. I didn't want to go too in depth because I don't want to give away spoilers to any of you guys. You know, would I recommend you guys seeing it? Yeah, I think if you like creature feature movies and werewolf stuff, yeah, go ahead. If you're a horror fan, I think you'll have a good time. I did. You know, there were some, I know I did poke holes in it in this review. In my opinion, and this might be, I might be alone on this, I had a more fun time with the Benicio del Toro Wolfman than this Wolfman. Of course, it doesn't touch the original, right? But guys, that's basically my review of the Wolfman. Like I said, I thought it was okay. But if you guys enjoy this video and the reviews that I do, make sure to go down below, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and of course, hit that bell notification. Guys, tomorrow, it's finally here. All my Vinegar Syndrome stuff is coming in. Actually, tomorrow, I've got tons of stuff coming in. I mean, a lot. So that upload for that video might be a little later in the day. Usually, I like to release my videos early in the morning, but that one, because I really want to get that one out to you guys, it'll be a little later in the day. So just be on the lookout for that. But guys, other than that, that is all I have for you today. Of course, you guys take care.